It's time to continue some... Oh, fucking hell. The cat is... Alright, I'm trying to teach him to not be on the keyboard. It's not going super well. But he's been moving more and more towards the keyboard, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't like it indeed. Alright, so... Where did we leave off? Alright, we were talking to the... Whoops. To the funny fellow. There. Oh, what was that word again? It was here somewhere. There was an interesting word. Ah, whatever. Whatever. Alright. Funny fellow, pronounced the innkeeper. Is that big enough, by the way? Probably has to be a little bit bigger, I think. Funny fellow, pronounced the innkeeper. And why don't you work? Why aren't you at your duty if you are in the service? Why am I not on duty, my honored sir? Marmeladov went on, addressing himself exclusively to Raskolnikov, as though it had been he who put that question to him. Why am I not at duty? Does my heart ache to think that I am a useless worm? Wait, why am I not at my duty? Does not my heart ache to think that I'm a useless worm? I am. A month ago, when Mr. Lebesnikov beat my wife with his own hands, I lay drunk. Didn't I suffer? Excuse me, young man, has it ever happened to you? Well, to petition hopelessly for a loan. Oh, he is literally begging. Wow. Note owner says, do you know how to solder? No, I don't know how to solder. But that's something that I was planning on learning, right? That's why I was looking for cheap kits, because I don't have any of the tools. Well, I got some small screwdriver, I suppose. But the plan was to learn how to solder and stuff. Maybe starting out with a kit, making it as easy as possible. And then maybe building a second one someday in the future. I don't know. Maybe a third. Oh, that was annoying. Nodonner says you probably don't want that kit then. It's a surface mount. It's surface mount soldering, and you'd probably want to start with a through hole. Probably want to start with a through hole. Surface mount is it's a lot of really tiny, delicate parts. Ooh, yeah, I don't know about that. A lot of really tiny, delicate parts. Something more for my shaky hands. Hopelessly for a loan. Oh, hello, Skywalker. You're in the way. Maybe I should put the text at the top? Ooh, actually, I like that. I don't know why I did put it at the bottom. I like putting it at the top, since I've got Firefox stuff there anyway, and we have the art at the bottom. Yeah, I like this. This works out. Yes, it has, but what do you mean, hopelessly? Hopelessly in the fullest sense, when you know beforehand that you will get nothing by it. You know, for instance, beforehand with positive certainty that this man, this most reputable and exemplary citizen, will on no consideration give you money, and indeed, I ask you, why should he? For he knows, of course, that I shan't pay it back. From compassion? But Mr. Lebysanyturkov, who keeps up with modern ideas, explained the other day that compassion is forbidden nowadays by science itself. And that's why is done now in England, where there is political economy. Why, I ask you, should he give it to me? And yet, though I know beforehand that he won't, I set off to him and... ... Why do you go? Put in Raskolnikov. Well, when one has no one, nowhere else one can go, for every man must have somewhere to go, since there are times when one absolutely must go somewhere. When my own daughter first went out with a yellow ticket, then I had to go. For my daughter has a yellow passport. I don't even know what a yellow passport is. He added, for my daughter has a yellow passport, he added in parentheses. Don't know what a yellow passport is. Looking with a certain uneasiness at a young man. No matter, sir, he went on hurriedly and with an apparent composure when both the boys at the counter guffawed. All right. What's that? I mean, this dictionary is not really fulfilling its purpose. The two most difficult words that I had no idea what they meant, the dictionaries have not helped me. I need to fix that. Actually, I'm gonna add that to the to-do list. I know that the to-do list is a weird place for it, but and better dictionary. I mean, No Donor says you missed a part of that GitHub adventure further on where Peter likens the exchange to rape. I wish I wasn't joking. Oh man, Peter. No, but I can see it, right? I can see it. Gaslighting, right? He started out gaslighting, and I don't... I mean, it's a meme that everything is compared to being Nazis, right? It wouldn't surprise me if he did that as well. Do you want us to finish on some bit on the GitHub? Is there more interesting stuff? I'm sorry, I completely missed out. I was just, oh, look at the time. It's time to start reading something else. But if there's more tasty stuff to talk about, if you want to post a link again, we can go back. Blasphemous says, add more dictionaries, lol. Yeah, there are 2 dictionaries now, and they're terrible. Well, actually, I don't know if you've seen this. What the fuck was it again? Fuck, what was it again? Actually, I'll show you the thing. Alright, what was this thing again? There we go. We go here, and then we go dict show. What was it? DB. For now, we have these. We've got. Oh, actually, we do. We got G-Side, we got WordNet, we got Moby Thesaurus, Elements, Vera, Jargon, Boldock, Easton, Hitchcock, Bouvier, The Devil Dictionary, World 2. I don't know. What I did was... I don't have all of them, because then there's a lot of lists of, like... Finnish, German, Finnish, Japanese... English to German, Portuguese to English, right? I don't want all of these. So I just went to the bottom. At the bottom you can pick, like look at this, so many dictionaries. You can take English monolingual dictionaries. That's what I go with. English monolingual dictionaries. So there are a lot of them, and I need to add more. Because they are not working out. They are not working out. Nodrunner says, nah, I'm going to bed. My headset is dying. Alright. Thanks for hanging out, Nodrunner. Was a good find. Good talk on the thing. I mean, comparing it to Rape, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, right? He was very untrustworthy. He would say anything. That dude. That... Peter. Try dictionary. Oh, right. Yeah. It's not a dictionary. It's a dictionary. Yeah. All right. Oh, what does this mean? Oh, right. And that's not it either. There we go. Guffawed. There we go. The free dictionary. See if I can get that in here. Guffaw. Hearty, boisterous burst of laughter. Right. It's a burst of laughter. Guffaw. Ah. But that's annoying. The whole point is that I should only be able to do this. I want to be just able to do that. That's the whole point. If it doesn't work like that, I mean... If I have to do a lot of annoying stuff and like... type it out myself, then I would rather just copy it and paste it into the browser, right? Yeah. He has some mova.org that he recommends. Yeah, I'll look into that. Oh, wait. A lot of black and white on the black metal, are they? Gray color, dull colors. No matter, sir. No matter, sir. Her with an apparent composure when both the boys at the counter guffawed. Oh man, I should have looked how it was pronounced. It doesn't matter. And even the innkeeper smiled. No matter. I am not confounded by the wagging of their heads. For everyone knows everything about it already, and all that is secret is made open, and I accept it all, not with contempt, but with humility. So be it, so be it. Behold the man. Excuse me, young man, can you... No, put it more strongly and more distinctively. Not can, but dare you look upon me, assert that I am not a pig. That was weird. The young man did not answer a word. Well, the orator began stolidly and with even more increased dignity, after waiting for the laughter in the room to subside. Well, so be it. I am a pig, but she is a lady, and I have the semblance of a beast. But Katerina Ivanovna, my spouse... Ivanovna? I'm terrible with names. Wasn't that... the impound where we just were, right? That woman? Maybe not, probably not. I'm terrible with names. My spouse is a person of education and an officer's daughter. Granted. I am a scoundrel, but she is a woman of noble heart, full of sentiments, refined by education, and yet, oh, if she only felt for me, honored sir. You know, every man ought to have at least one place where people feel for him, but Katerina Ivanovna, though she is magnanimous, that's big something, right? Noble and generous in spirit. She is unjust, and yet, although I realize that when she pulls my hair, she only does it out of pity. For I repeat, without being ashamed, she pulls my hair, young man. He declared with redoubled dignity, hearing the sniggering again. But, my God, if she would but once, but no, it's all in vain, and it's no use talking. For more than once my wish did come true, and more than once she has felt for me. Such is my fate, and I'm a beast by nature. Rather, assented the innkeeper, yawning. Marmeladov struck his fist resolutely on the table. Such is my fate. Oh, nice. Lasma says, you're almost at line 666. Let us praise the devil when you arrive there. Oh, nice. Hail Lucifer, I suppose. I'm not saying that quote. No, I'm refusing. But the quote says we must. The sheep. The goat. The 666, right? That's, yeah, the 666. That's eerie is what that is. Such is my fate. Do you know, sir, do you know, I have sold her very stockings for drink. Not her shoes, that would be more or less in the order of things. But her stockings I have sold for drink. Her mohair shawl I've sold for drink. A present to her long ago. Her own property. Not mine. And we live in a cold room, and she caught cold this winter. And has begun coughing and spitting blood too. Ooh. We have 3 little children. And Katerina Ivanovna is at work from morning till night. She is scrubbing and cleaning and washing the children, for she's been used to cleanliness from a child. But her chest is weak, and she has a tendency to consumption, and I feel it. Do you suppose I don't feel it? Oh, you do feel it. Does he want her dead? That would make sense at the 666 mark. A tendency to consumption, selling her warm clothes, getting her cold, making her, well, she's coughing blood, eh? Time to die, wife, eh? And the more I drink, the more I feel it. That's why I drink too. I try to find sympathy and feeling in drink. I drink so that I may suffer twice as much. And as though in despair he lays his head down. And as though in despair he laid his head down on the table. Alcoholism before alcoholism was even a word, eh? Young man, he went on, raising his head again. In your face, I seem to read some trouble of mind. When you came in, I read it, and that's why I addressed you at once. For in unfolding to you the story of my life, I do not wish to make myself a laughingstock before these idle listeners, who indeed know all about it already, but I'm looking for a man of feeling and education. Know then that my wife was educated in a high-class school for the daughters of noblemen, and on leaving she danced the shawl dance before the governor and other personages, for which she was presented with a gold medal and certificate of merit. The medal, of course, was sold long ago. But the certificate of merit is in her trunk still, and not long ago she showed it to our landlady, and although she is most continually on bad terms with the landlady, yet she wanted to tell someone or other of her past honors and of the happy days that are gone. I don't condemn her for doing it. I don't blame her. For the one thing left her is recollection of the past. Oof. And all the rest is dust and ashes. Yes, she is a lady of spirit, proud and determined. She scrubs the floor herself and has nothing but black bread to eat, but won't allow herself to be treated with disrespect. That is why she would not overlook Mr. Libnikov's rudeness to her, and so when he gave her a beating for it, she took to her bed more from the hurt to her feelings than from the blows. She was a widow when I married her, with 3 children, one smaller than the other. She married her first husband, an infantry officer, for love, and ran away with him from her father's house. She was exceedingly fond of her husband, but he gave way to cards, got into trouble, and with that he died. He used to beat her at the end, and although she paid him back, of which I have authentic documentary evidence, to this day she speaks of him with tears, and she throws him up to me. And I am glad that, though only in imagination, she would think of herself as having once been happy. And she was left at his death with three children in a wild and remote district where I happened to be at the time, and she was left in such a hopeless poverty that, although I have seen many ups and downs of all sorts, I don't feel equal to describing it even. Her relations had all thrown her off, and she was proud too, excessively proud. And then, honored sir, and then I, being at the time a widower with a daughter of 14, left me by my first wife, offered her my hand, for I could not bear the sight of such suffering. You can judge the extremity of her calamities, that she, a woman of education and culture, be distinguished family, should have consented to be my wife, but she did, weeping and sobbing and wringing her hands. She married me, for she had nowhere to turn. Do you understand, sir? Do you understand what it means when you have absolutely nowhere to turn? Again, he repeated that. No. That you don't understand yet. And for a whole year I performed my duties conscientiously and faithfully, and did not touch this. He tapped the jug with his finger. For I have feelings. But even so, I could not please her. And then I lost my place too. I lost my place too, and that through no fault of mine, but through changes in the office. And then I did touch it. The drink. It will be a year and a half ago since we found ourselves at last, after many wanderings and numerous calamities, in this magnificent capital, adorned with innumerable monuments. Here I obtained a situation. I obtained it and I lost it again. Do you understand? This time it was through my own fault I lost it, for my weakness had come out. We have now part of a room at Amalia Fyodorna's little shop, and what we live upon and what we pay our rent with, I could not say. There are... Oh man, this monologue is a long damn monologue. No pause, eh? Oof. There are a lot of people living there besides ourselves. Dirt and disorder. A perfect bedlam. Yes. And meanwhile my daughter by my first wife has grown up. And what my daughter has had to put up with from her stepmother whilst she was growing up, I won't speak of. For though Katerina Ivanovna is full of generous feelings, she is a spirited lady, irritable and short-tempered, yes. But it's no use going over that. Sonia, as you may well fancy, has no education. I did make an effort for 4 years ago to give her a course of geography and universal history. But as I was not very well up in these subjects myself, and we have no suitable books, and what books we had, anyway, we have not even those now, so all our instruction came to an end. We stopped at Cyrus of Persia. Since she has attained years of maturity, she has read other books of romantic tendency. And of late she had read with great interest a book she got through Mr. Lebenatsin of Loose Psychology. Physiology. Do you know it? And even recounted extract from it to us. And that's the whole of her education. And now may I venture to address you, honored sir, on my account with a private question. Do you suppose that a respectable poor girl can earn money by honest work? Not 15 farthings a day can she earn? If she is respectable and has no special talent, and that without putting... Oh man, he goes on and on, this dude. And that without putting her work down for an instant. And what's more... Asma says, hi, cursor line STE equals to 6, C term equals to bold. Oh, that's for the in VimRC, eh? Your current line to stand out. I actually like this. I like it this way. I was considering just having the current line standing out, but I kind of like the We've got the past standing out. Past and the present and the future is grayed out. I like it this way. I mean, maybe like taking 3 lines out or just a couple lines. I don't know. No, I'm happy. I'm happy this way, I think. Oh, but the C term, you get it bold. Oh, no. C term FG, foreground. 6. C term bold, however, we could cursor line. To be bold, I like that. That was... Actually, we can do this. So, vim.vimrc, and where are we? Let's see, is it a let? How does the full line look like? Oh, is it high? Is it... Like, is it just like this? I don't understand. Seems like no. No, that was not. That's all it is. But it's not bolding them though. Is it not in the vimrc you're talking about? Because that I would be happy with having that on always. And that didn't work either. Ah, weird. It's fine. Alright. Where are we at? Here we go. Last one says maybe there's another thing that needs to be added. Yeah, I'll think about it. Because I think that's a good idea to always have on Vim, right? The current line emboldened. I can get behind that. And what's more, Ivan Ivanovich Klopstock, the civil counselor, have you heard of him? He has noted in the... Oh, man, he's going on and on. What is his goal? I thought, right, it doesn't... I don't know what he wants. This dude. It seemed like he was begging, but also not. Also not. I don't know. Actually, that was enough black metal now. What about... Oh, it's art. Some roses. I don't know why, I was just in the mood for roses. They're a little bit too bright. Beautiful though. Maybe that's just what he wants. Maybe he just wants to tell his life story. He wants some sympathy. He's telling his life story and the rest are just listening. I can't really suspend my disbelief on that, right? Going out on the pub, someone having a long monologue like this and no interruptions. Right? Someone would have interrupted him, right? There's probably snickering going on, and actually we could like he did notice that the other the other patrons were snickering and maybe giving comments, but he's maybe just don't care. There we go. Ah. Thank you, Blasphemous. Thanks. Let's try it out. Well, it didn't bolden it. That's for sure. Just gave a line. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Why is the music repeating? Supposed to be so much music here, but I've started recognizing songs. Yeah, no, that was actually a little bit annoying. But this works out for now. Might actually another to-do thing on the thing. Oops. Some stuff to do, eh? A civil counselor. I wonder what a civil counselor was in this time in Russia. Blasphemous says, I don't remember which one gets rid of the underline. Oh no, but I'm grateful, Blasphemous. It's fine. I'm that and Limelight together. I'll figure it out, right? I'll figure it out when I get to it. All right. It's a quite interesting mini story within the story. I wonder how relevant this dude is gonna be. It kind of feels like this is just something that happens to our guy, to our protagonist. Maybe it will be super relevant. Maybe this dude will be super relevant. Something is gonna change. Oh, he's an instigating factor, right? It's gonna change the way our protagonists. Is he a protagonist? The main character? I don't know. Right. Have you heard of him? Has not to this day paid her for the half-dozen linen shirts she made him, and drove her roughly away, stamping and reviling her, on the pretext that the shirt collars were not made like the pattern and were put askew. And there are the little ones, hungry, and Katerina Ivanovna walking up and down and bringing her hands, her cheeks flushed red, as they always are in that disease. "Here you live with us," says she. "You eat and drink and are kept warm, and you do nothing to help." And much she gets to eat and drink when there's not a crust for the little ones for 3 days. I was lying at the same time. Well, what of it? I was lying drunk, and I heard my Sonia speaking. She is a gentle creature with a soft little voice, fair hair, and such a pale, thin little face. She says, "Katerina Ivanovna." That's typical Russian, right? You name people by both first and last name. Oh, hello, where? Nice to meet you. How are you doing today? We're reading Crime and Punishment, if you haven't read it. Oh, I think I forgot to change the title, didn't I? I don't even know what the title is. It's fine. She said, "Katerina Ivanovna, am I really to do a thing like that?" And Darya Fransonovna, a woman of evil character and very well known to the police, had 2 or 3 times tried to get at her through the landlady. "And why not?" said... Wait. Am I really to do a thing like that? Do a thing like what? I'm kinda confused. "And why not?" said Katerina Ivanovna with a jeer. "You are something mighty precious to be careful of. But don't blame her, honored sir. Don't blame... All right. Don't blame her. She was not herself when she spoke, but driven to distraction by her illness and the crying of the hungry children. And it was said more to wound her than anything else." For that, Katerina Ivanovna's character, and when the children cry, even from hunger, she falls to beating them at once. Oh, wow. At 6 o'clock, I saw Sonia get up, put on her kerchief and her cape. Plasma says, "Try high, clear cursor line." Alright. We'll try it out. Oh, fuck, what was that again? Set cursor line. Alright. Set cursor line, and then high clear cursor line. Like this? No, you can't. You probably can't read it. Before the other 2 lines. Alright. Clear cursor line before. So first high clear, and then set cursor line, and then cursor line with the bold thing. Is that it? Let's try it out. Nope. I kind of think you need to set it first, right? Set the cursor line first. And then clear. I clear cursor. Alright, let's try again. Like this, on the top. Nope. Does not seem to work. Set cursor line. Oh! Yeah, let's try that. No. Actually, I just... Oh, wait. Clear cursor line. Let's try this as well. Alright, last try. Let's try. Here we go. Nope. What we can do is just... Boom. Don't have to delete it. Damn it. Ah. It's fine. It's fine. Do you have anything that says underline in your VimRC? I'll check. Under. No under, no. Nope. What about just line? I don't even know what most of this does. Wait, what's this? Nope. Nope. Ah. Alright, what just happened? Somehow Katerina started beating on the children, right? Because something the children said, I don't really got that thing, but yeah, they were all frustrated not having eaten in 3 days, right? Not having eaten and just generally everything sucks and people are not helping and they're just pissy at each other. That makes a lot of sense. Yep. She falls to beating them at once, yeah. At 6 o'clock, I saw Sonia get up, put on her kerchief and her cape, go out of the room, and about 9 o'clock she came back. She walked straight up to Katerina Ivanovna and she laid 30 rubles on prostitution. That must have been it, right? Prostitution that I just missed. She walked straight up to Katerina Ivanovna and she laid 30 rubles on the table before her in silence. She did not utter a word, she did not even look at her. She simply picked up our big green drap-de-dame shawl. We have a shawl made of drap-de-dame. I don't know what that is. Put it over her head and face, lay down on the bed with her face to the wall, only her little shoulders and her body shuddering. And I went on lying there. Just as before, he did nothing, eh? And then I saw, young man, I saw Katerina Ivanovna in the same silence go up to Sonia's little bed. She was on her knees all the evening, kissing Sonia's feet, and would not get up. And then they both fell asleep in each other's arms, together, yes. And I lay drunk. Wow, that is a rough day. That is a rough day. And he just can't deal. He's spending all those money just getting drunk, eh? Oh, such alcoholism. Marmelado stopped short as though his voice had failed him. Then he hurriedly filled his glass, drank and cleared his throat. Since then, sir, he went on. Alright. So it's a small room. He married a lady. That lady, although we were both widowers. And somehow, yeah, he lost his job and... Right, if this was modern days, the divorce would have come, right? They say like the accidents, no, the terrible stuff that happens, they happen in a row, right? You lose your job, you lose your house, you lose your wife. Those usually all come together, right? How many cursor lines shows up when you search? Just the 2. I just searched for line here. Just the 2. Cursor line. Maybe set cursor line should also be capitalized. I mean, why? I have not done any of this myself. I don't know this syntax or anything. I actually, just after I hadn't even set a color scheme before your tip yesterday about adding that thing, when it said most of the color theme schemes doesn't work with Limelight, right? So then it was like, oh, time to try some color schemes. So I picked one that I like. Inspiration art? Is that a thing? Blasphemous says, the only way it becomes underlined for me is when I don't have C-term bold. So what is this? C-term foreground. Can I just remove that? Maybe that's the problem. What terminal are you using? Alacrity. Well, I'm using 2 different terminals. This is Xterm and the other one is Alacrity. Fuck, I don't even remember why. Oh, right, yeah. Because of the zoom in. Xterm only has these 2 modes and I didn't want to read the book like this. Maybe that is a good way to read the book though. You can try. Okay, I forgot. What was it? The term foreground equals to 6. It's weird that it doesn't work, eh? High clear cursor. Alright, yeah, I was gonna try that. Oops. Oh. Lesman says, I don't know, could be anything in your VMRC, right? Yeah, could be anything. I have not spent time with this at all. Not enough. I'll look into it. I'll look into it. All right. Marmalado stopped short as though his voice had failed him. Then he hurriedly filled his glass, drank and cleared his throat. Since then, sir, he went on after a brief pause, since then, owing to an unfortunate occurrence and through information given by evil-intentioned persons. Evil-intentioned, eh? Don't attribute malice to something that could be explained by ignorance. In all which Daria Frantsovna took a leading part on the pretext that she had been treated with want of respect since then my daughter, Sofia Semyonovna, has been forced to take a yellow ticket. So yellow ticket then is probably prostitution, right? And owing to that, she is unable to go on living with us. For our landlady, Amalia Fyodorovna, would not hear of it, though she had backed up Daria Fransonovna before, and Mr. Libanov too. All the trouble between him and Katerina Ivanovna was on Sonia's account. At first he was for making up to Sonia himself, and then all of a sudden he stood on his dignity. How, said he, can a high-educated man like me live in the same rooms with girls like that? And Katerina Ivanovna would not let it pass. She stood up for her. And so that's how it happened. And Sonia came to us now, mostly after dark. She comforts Katerina Ivanovna and gives her all she can. She has a room at Kaperonov's, the tailors. She lodges with them. Kaperonov is a lame man with a cleft palate, and all his numerous family have cleft palates too. And his wife too has a cleft palate. Wow. Blasmus asks, well, I'm curious what this would do. Alright. We can try that if you like. What does the high stand for? Instead of this, right? Oops. I think highlight, yeah. Changing the background to dark red and oh, high stands for highlight. Don't I need to set highlight something? It does nothing though. What about... Oh, maybe I need to... Wait. Set cursor line. There we go. What about this? Just that? This is interesting though. Like here the cursor line text gets blue. Here it doesn't. Have we tried this? I don't remember. Yeah, set your cursor line. Yeah, I forgot that. Try setting them at the end to see if something else is... Oh! Alright. Alright, what do we have? Nothing changes anything. Right? Nothing. Are you sure it's supposed to be cursor line? It's not like supposed to be like cursor highlight or high or something like that. It seems weird that the line should be the one to do all these things. High clear cursor. Didn't I try that this time? Oops. Alright. Nope. And his wife too has a cleft palate. They all live in one room, but Sonia has her own partitioned off. Yes. Very poor people and all with cleft palates, yes. Then I got up this morning and put on my rags, lifted up my hands to heaven and set off to His Excellency Ivan Afanasovich. Lasman says, okay, I give up. It took way longer than it would for me. Good job hanging in there, though, I suppose. Yeah, good job hanging in there. I might look into it myself. Alright, do you know him? No? Well, how many people have he introduced where he says like, do you know him? No? Oh well. Well then, it's a man of... Oh man. Is he gonna explain who this dude is? Of course he is. He is wax. But it's a man of God you don't know. Then it's a man of God you don't know. He is wax. Wax before the face of the Lords. Even as wax melteth. His eyes were dim when he heard my story. Marmeladov, once already you have deceived my expectation. I'll take you once more on my own responsibility. That's what he said. Remember, he said, and now you can go. I kissed the dust at his feet in thought only, for in reality he would not have allowed me to do it, being a statesman and a man of modern political and enlightened ideas. I returned home, and when I announced that I had been taken back into the service and should receive a salary, heavens, what to-do there was. What a to-do there was? Blasphemous says it would be easier if you had a clean Vim-RC. Yeah, I know. It was like... When I started using Vim, it was like I just started. That's like starting out, like a starting out point. Yeah, starting out point for VimRC, but I've had, like, it's one of those things, you know. I'm gonna fix it later, and then it's just later and later and later, and I've just been happy with it as it's been working, right? The only things that I've needed to change to be happy, I have changed, and now I've been happy, so... I've not felt the need to configure Vim as much. Actually, all I've really needed, I think I don't even need all of the things that I have fixed. Like the only things that I have done has been, yeah, this I did yesterday, changing the color scheme. But otherwise, it's just I've set the number, set relative number. I highlight the search, and oh yeah, I'll set the tab width to be 2 tabs in, and change the clipboard. Yeah, that's all I've needed to do myself. I find it weird that I guess I get the clipboard thing, but that's all I needed to change myself. Yeah, I don't know. So many stuff. Yeah. Last one says, I had to go blind with that color scheme. Blind? Really? I kind of enjoy it. You know, I like the high contrast colors, right? The green and the red and the blue. Yeah, and the magenta and the yellow. There's probably one more. Yeah, the... like, what's that called? This color, right? It's all the extreme colors, right? And there are six extreme colors. And that's the 6 I want to use. Cyan. Cyan. Thank you, Colgate on tap. Thanks indeed. It says the dark red on black is harsh. Yeah, I like the contrast. Need it. I need contrast. You see, I have it everywhere. Like, if you open up here, the green is nicer. And in the VimRC, it was a lot of red. But I kind of liked, like, when, because I was testing in Python, right? Red is comments. And I like the idea of having as few comments as possible, right? And that's, yeah, I need to clean up VimRC. It's just filled with all those comments. Title, Hackerman. Right? Hackerman. You know what? I think the death counter is not really relevant at the moment in the title. There has not been 10 deaths. Actually, I just want to add that to the to-do list as well. No death counter on just chatting. Marmelado stopped again in violent excitement. At that moment, a whole party of revelers, already drunk, came in from the street. Wait, did he just get his job? It kind of seemed like he just got his job, right? Got his job back? Colgate Untitled thinks that the death counter is always relevant. Oh, but it works like that. So the death counter is based on the game category. So just chatting has its own death counter. Path of Exile has its own death counter. When I start playing a new game, it will automatically get its own death counter. All the game categories gets their own death counter, yeah. Last one says Hume's guillotine counter. Well, there is no counter to Hume's guillotine. See what I did there? I thought it was funny. Oh man. Enjoying myself, yeah. Right. Marmalade of stop. Wait, oh, here we go. Colgate Untitled says, why not just have one big number across all categories? I mean, we can add them all together if you like. I don't... That was a little bit annoying. It's like usually when you do death counters, it's usually in games like people who do playthroughs on like Dark Souls and stuff like that. People enjoy seeing a death counter. I enjoy seeing a death counter for that specific game. Last one says May died a few times. That counts. Yeah, right. May would have gotten a few deaths. I don't remember how many times. Like 4 times? Did she die 4 times? Maybe I would have gotten a death counter on the bass playing sections. Oh man, I was terrible. Yeah, that was before the counter. Sure was. At that moment, a whole party of revelers, already drunk, came in from the street, and the sounds of a hired concertina and the cracked, piping voice of a child of 7 singing "The Hamlet" were heard in the entry. The room was filled with noise. The tavern keeper and the boys were busy with the newcomers. Marmeladov, paying no attention to the new arrivals, continued his story. He appeared by now to be extremely weak, but as he became more and more drunk... Wait, who became more and more drunk? I missed. Marmeladov. Marmalade? He appeared by now to be extremely weak, but as he became more and more drunk, he became more and more talkative. The recollection of his recent success in getting the situation seemed to revive him, and was positively reflected in the sort of radiance on his face. Raskolnikov listened attentively. Oh, he does listen attentively. That's the first time in a long time we've heard Raskolnikov, right? We don't know what Raskolnikov thinks about this. We only know that he listens attentively. That's all we know. Blasphemous says, what about the command to change songs? I haven't got the time. There's been a lot of other stuff on the to-do list. But it's on the to-do list. Yeah. Skip songs. Cognitive tab says McSneak gets in deaths before they are counted. And I mean, if you have other ideas about stuff you want, other commands, just name them. And I'll put them on the to-do list. I might get to them, I might not. But changing songs is high priority, I think. Well, I promise to get it up on Git as well. I think that's highest priority to get it up on Git, so you can look on the code. Node Runner wanted to look at the code, so I've spent a lot of time cleaning it up Yeah, that's pretty much all day yesterday. I was just cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. A lot of cleaning. Not a lot of functionality. Oh yeah, by the way, colon and semicolons work now. Yeah. They should anyway. Colons and semicolons should work. Yeah, I did add some functionality. The colon, the semicolons, the nickname. I think nick is fine. Colgate Untitled says command to add commands. Oh, you just type it in chat. You just request. Just request. You just ask for it, and I'll add it to the list. Oh, actually, when you add a quote, maybe you should get the number for that quote. Instead of just thanks for your contribution, maybe you should get thanks for your contribution and then the number of the quote. Olgitino tabs says, yeah, that would be great. Where was that? Alright, that was 5 weeks ago, sir. Oh, 5 weeks he got his job. So why is he in here getting drunk then? I think I've started recognizing songs. I don't know. Last one says post feature request on GitHub. Oh man. Well, it's gonna be on GitLab, right? No, Microsoft. Ugh, Microsoft. But I've never worked with Git, not really. I've just cloned Git stuff, but I don't know. Colgate tab says, I meant commands so we could add them to on our own instead of waiting for you to do it. Not relevant for me, but perhaps useful for more tech-savvy members of chat. Well, that's not happening, Colgate tab. Remote execution? I mean, there's probably a way to do it as it stands right now, but I would want to remove that. People taking control of my computer? Ugh. What font is that? Dostoevsky? I have no idea. It's just whatever it came with. Wait, that's an L? Loose VKA? I don't know. Last one says you can review the code before it gets added. Oh yeah, the through Git, right? You can review it. It says kappa, which makes sense because reviewing the code would mean I would have to understand the code before it got added. I suppose that would be a fun thing, learning to do Git so you could change stuff yourself, I suppose. However, I'm pretty sure that it has a bad case of the works on my machine. I think the bot have a bad case of that. Any changes you would make would work on your machine, not mine. Right, that was 5 weeks ago, sir. Yes. As soon as Katerina Ivanovna and Sonia heard of it, mercy on us. It was as though I stepped into the kingdom of heaven. It used to be, you can lie like a beast, nothing but abuse. Now they were talking walking on tiptoe, hushing the children. Semyon Safarovich is tired with all his work at the office. He is resting. Shh. They made me coffee before I went to work and boiled cream for me. They began to get real cream for me. Do you hear that? And how they manage to get together the money for a decent outfit. 11 rubles, 50 kopecks. I can't guess. Boots, cotton, shirt, fronts, most magnificent. Most magnificent a uniform. A uniform they got up all in splendid style for 11 rubles and a half. The first morning I came back from the office, I found Katerina Ivanovna had cooked 2 courses for dinner, soup and salt meat with horseradish, which we had never dreamt of until then. She had not any dresses, not one at all, but she got herself up as though she were going on a visit. And not that she had anything to do it with. She smartened herself up with nothing at all. She'd done her hair nicely, put on a clear collar of sorts, cuffs, and there she was, quite a different person. She was younger and better looking. Calling it says, add command for solving the halting problem, Kappa. Alright, that seems like a good idea. I don't even remember how we did solve that. Just keep moving. There you go, calling it tab. That's how you solve the halting problem. Just keep moving. Just buy a house. Yeah. Solved poverty for you while I'm at it. Just buy a house. Oh man. Sonia, my little darling, had only helped with money for a time. She said it won't do for me to come and see you too often. After dark, maybe, when no one can see. Oh man, that's so fucked up. That is so fucked up. Do you hear? Do you hear? I lay down for a nap after dinner, and what do you think? I thought Katerina Ivanovna had quarreled to the last degree with our landlady, Amelia Fyodorovna, only a week before. You could not resist then asking her into coffee. For 2 hours they were sitting, whispering together. Semyon Zaravochis is in the service again. Why did the name change? Now and receiving a salary, says she, and he went himself to his excellency, and his excellency himself came out to him, made all the others wait, and led Semyon by the hand before everybody into his study. Do you hear? Do you hear? To be sure, says he. Semyon, remembering your past service, says he, and in spite of your propensity to that foolish weakness, that's the drinking, since you promise now, and since moreover we've got on badly without you. Do you hear? Do you hear? And so on, says he. I rely now on your word as a gentleman. Alright, Kolgetinotab says, no, it was the other way around. It stops eventually. Nothing lasts forever. That's the halting problem, right? It stops eventually. Yeah, nothing lasts forever. Right. Oh, man. Alright. And all that. Let me tell you, she has simply made up for herself, and not simply out of wantonness, for the sake of bragging. No, she believes it all herself. She amuses herself with her own fancies. Upon my word, she does. And I don't blame her for it. No, I don't blame her. 6 days ago, when I brought her my first earnings in full, 23 rubles, 40 kopecks altogether, she called me her puppet. Puppet, said she, my little puppet. And when we were by ourselves, you understand? You would not think me a beauty, you would not think much of me as a husband, would you? Well, she pinched my cheek, my little puppet, said she. Marmeladov broke off. He tried to smile, but suddenly his chin began to twitch. He controlled himself, however. The tavern, the degraded appearance of the man, the 5 nights in the hay barge, and the pot of spirits. And yet his poignant love for his wife and children bewildered his listener. Raskolnikov listened intently, but with a sick sensation. He felt vexed that he had come here. Yeah, me too. Why has she come here? Colgetino tab adds a code. That's what she said. Nice. That is what she said, eh? Wait, what did she say? Alright. Bookmark. I like that. In Vim, you can just add a bookmark. I added a bookmark. Alright. Perfect. Alright, thanks for hanging out today. And yeah. Time for lunch. Time for lunch indeed. Yeah, I like that. I've started reading earlier, and it's way easier to stop in the middle of this than it was to stop, well, not in the middle of, but Night in the Woods went on and on. So far, there hasn't been a lot of discussion generated, right? Crime and Punishment is moving very slowly. It's moving very slowly. We don't really know anything, right? We got his story here. It's just about survival and... I mean, it all kind of just makes sense so far in the story. I can suspend, like, there are a few things where it's like a suspension of disbelief problem, but that could just be ignorance from not knowing how Russia was at that time. Colgetino tab adds the quote. Crime and Punishment is moving very slowly. Yeah. It is though, right? Alright, yeah, but thanks for hanging out, and thanks for all the help, Blasphemous. And to oh man, did you see that picture, by the way? Is it still here? No, I removed the picture. I got inspired to maybe start building a keyboard. Like a do-it-yourself project, but that's in the future. For now, I'm all busy in making a bot. A chat bot, yeah. Alright, thanks for hanging out, and see you next time. Cheers.